Fans, next time you need tickets to a game or concert, head to StubHub and discover why millions of fans make it their go-to site for finding great seats, even on the day of the event and even if it's sold out. The only question is, where do you want to sit? StubHub! The BS Report is a free-flowing conversation that occasionally touches on mature subjects.
First of all,
this is the BS Report with Bill Simmons.
It might be cool, I don't know. And if it's not, I don't care.
The BS Report with Bill Simmons.
Bill Simmons works for ESPN. He's also named the Sports Guy, and he writes a comical sports column. He must be a popular dude.
The BS Report.
It's got a real dirty sound, like a rusty steak knife cutting through a well-aged steak.
Now.
Here's Bill Simmons.
Welcome to BS Report. I am not Bill Simmons. I am David Jacoby.
I am also not Bill Simmons. I'm Kevin Wildes.
The reason I'm not Bill Simmons is because Bill Simmons is in London, and Bill is out there, and he's going to be writing about the Olympics, and he's not going to be podcasting. So what we are doing is we are taking some of the Grantland Network shows and putting them on the BS Report. Does that sound like a good idea, Kevin?
That sounds like a great idea, Jacoby. What do you want to start with?
We're going to start with half-baked ideas. To explain half-baked ideas, please.
So Half-Baked Ideas is the podcast that I do with Bill. I've got a bunch of terrible ideas. I pitch them to Bill, and he either builds them up or tears them down. Now, since Bill's in London, Jacoby will be playing Bill, and we switched up the format a little bit. So I've got some of my normal ideas. Jacoby's got his normal ideas that are now half-baked. And at the end of this podcast, since we'll now be competing, we'll call up one of our mutual friends to award a winner.
That sounds great. So I think you should start, since, I just want to see how this works.
Sure. So you'll get the hang of it, Jacoby.
I'm very excited about it.
All right, wonderful. Okay, so my first idea is a sports stadium made exclusively for television. So I got this idea from watching a Lady Gaga concert on HBO. Lady Gaga did this concert on HBO, and it was a great concert, but it was a very different aesthetic experience because this was obviously a performance that she had made for the people in the audience, and TV cameras or film cameras showed up. So I've got sort of two ways of consuming Lady Gaga. I've seen that, which felt very different, and I've seen her videos, which were made for me, the home viewer. So I've got those two channels, right?
Great artist, Lady Gaga.
Beautiful. So now imagine sports. So sports is something that's consumed. Most of the people that consume sports are at home. But
huge majority.
Yes, but the experience is still catered to the people in the stadium.
Okay.
You feel me now?
Yeah, I'm with you.
So the idea is Lady Gaga wouldn't make a video from her concert like they did in the 80s with Poison.
Love that.
Okay, so the idea is to craft a stadium that is made exclusively for television. So that's how Lady Gaga she's like, I'm not going to film my videos. I'm going to do something exclusively for TV. Let's just think of baseball stadium in ways you could rearrange it. The microphones would be in the exact place that the television producers want them. The cameras would be in the exact place that the television producers want them. Now we have another idea here. This is based on these Pixar bathrooms. Have you ever heard of this?
A Pixar bathroom?
Yes, the Pixar bathroom.
No, I have not heard of that.
So it's like when they were designing the Pixar. It's a story they tell in like the Steve Jobs book or like some like leadership books.
Okay.
Like when they're designing the Pixar campus, like, oh, let's put the bathrooms in one central spot, and they're kind of annoying to get to because everybody will have to go there, and there'll be this sort of creative collision of people who work in different spots, all kind of meeting up in one central spot, and that's where ideas can be generated. So the larger theory is the architecture of a space, and this might be Architecture 101, I have no idea.
Sure.
The architecture of a space, the design of a space can lead to creative solutions, but it could also lead to drama. So think of when baseball dugouts are far away from each other. Mm-hmm. And you've seen like when guys get hit by pitch, they're yelling at each other back and forth.
Yeah, I don't think they can even hear each other.
No, because it's too far. That's not what it's built for.
That's why they end up gesturing. Remember Jorge Posada? It's like it turns into like sign language after a while.
You're exactly like, no, your head. It's like,
Yeah.
Is that what he's
yeah.
saying?
What's happening?
The head?
Yeah, what?
But think about that. Now switch it to feel more like hockey penalty boxes.
Oh, okay.
And it's just one of the things you can do. That maybe the pitcher and the guy he just struck out have to walk right past each other rather than going to opposite directions.
Okay.
But I would just turn loose a group of architects and a group of television producers. Say, hey, go crazy with this idea. Design it however you want. Design it that will get the most drama. That will get the most interpersonal, beautiful moments. Tough moments. And let them go crazy. So that's the first idea. It's sports stadiums designed for TV.
Now, how is it designed for TV? It seems like you've basically drawn out a way for it to be designed for dudes to fight each other.
That's not the goal, but
okay, but that seems to be like a nice little side effect that you built in.
Well, I don't know. I just know that like Fenway Park was designed before there was television. It's like when you go to Boston and you're on a road, you're like, this road was obviously designed for a horse. Like, my car should not be going down for this road.
Yeah.
That's the same with Fenway, and they've made changes from it. But if they could start fresh and they thought TV first and not, concessions first, what type of product would you get?
Well, let me build on that.
I get a good rim shot.
I went to thank you. I went to a basketball game, and it was like a street ball game, and the guys that were covering it had cameras. And they were just like straight up on the basketball court with their cameras. And in a baseball field, like what's wrong with just throwing some cameramen out there in the outfield? Just like, look, we'll stay out of your way, all right? We'll stay. We're big boys. We know there's only one baseball. We'll stay out of its way and just let us cover this game better.
Or it seems ridiculous until you realize that refs are out there.
Yeah, give the ref a camera. Give him double duty, something.
Do you remember that Nike? What was the Nike commercial that like David Fincher did?
I don't know.
Yes, you did. It was the World Cup commercial from 4 years ago, and it was all POV.
Oh yeah. That was fun.
Yeah, so that was all like the idea was, there's a camera on the field. If you already have referees, umpires on the field, you've already broached the subject of having non-participants affecting the game or on the field of play. So let's just add one more. Add a camera guy. Add the audio guy with his big satellite dish. That guy's practically on the field in football games anyways. Let's just get him on the field.
Yeah, he'll probably be more safe on the field because that's the guy that always gets hit when they run out of bounds. Yeah, those guys need to pay more attention on the sidelines.
They're always listening. They're really great listeners, but their satellite dish is always getting knocked around.
Heads up, Steve.
All right, so that's my first idea. You buy that or no?
I'm in. I think the economics, obviously I'm a master of sports arena economics. It's what I studied for 8 years in college. And I think that it would work out. Like, I think you just do less people per arena, more expensive seats. So going there is just this really novelty thing that's not for the common man. And right now the common man just stood up and said, I want to go see baseball games. It's like, you know what's better off for you, buddy? Staying on your couch and watching the game, because we're going to make it so awesome from your couch, you're not going to want to go to the game.
And I know there's concerns about how do you make the viewing experience still valuable for the actual participant, and that's like how you can really seed real fandom through the in-game experience. Now, hopefully they both would sort of work, but we know that they've already made some concessions. So how far could you go? So here's another weird example.
Okay.
But glass backboards.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think glass backboards are for TV, are they?
I have no idea, but they never shoot through the backboard.
Yeah, so I assume that is for the people behind on the baseline, the high seats on the baseline, so they can still see the action.
Yeah.
I don't know when glass backboards were made, but I know personally, because I've spent most of my career playing in, horrible gyms, I don't like shooting on a glass backboard, and when I do, it's actually really weird. So is glass the ideal backboard surface, or is there a better backboard surface that gives a truer bounce or whatever, and we're only using glass for the viewer experience?
I think we're only using glass for the viewer experience.
I assume.
But I don't think
Seems weird if like the best thing so happened to be see-through.
Yeah, but let's be honest. Like, how different is a bounce off a glass versus something else? I'm gonna throw the BS flag on that one.
Okay.
Not a bad idea,
You don't think
though.
if you did a year-long study at Tufts about at your shooting baskets, you take like Russell Westbrook, you take him to Tufts, and all he does is shoot baskets all day.
Well, can we use Tim Duncan?
Do you think his same shooting percentage on a glass backboard or a graphite backboard or a whatever, like a fiberglass backboard, do you think it's across the board is the same always?
I have no idea. But
Knowing that these guys, when they tried to change the leather ball to a kind of leather ball, they're like, oh, I can't grab it. My hand's bleeding when I touch the ball.
Here's what I do know, Kevin. If I went to the local bar at Tufts and I just struck up a conversation with a stranger, and I was like, hey, man, what do you do? And he's like, well, I spent the last year with Russell Westbrook testing different backboard materials. I'd be like, all right, weirdo. That's a waste of time and money.
Russell Westbrook's like, why do I have to go to Tufts?
Yeah, God, I mean, we got a game. I got a game tonight. Like, for real. Like, we do this in Oklahoma City.
The whole year. Who signed off on this for my contract? I missed a year to go to Tufts.
I'm in on the architecting stadiums for the viewer at home instead of the viewer there. I'm 100% in on that. I'm 100% out on the year-long study at Tufts of backboard materials. Is that fair? A fair assessment of this idea?
What if it was Cornell?
Closer. Closer.
Don't they like do glass?
I don't know anything about Cornell.
Okay.
Here's my first idea, Kevin.
All right, go.
I've been watching the Olympics and really enjoying it. Have you?
Yes, of course.
I love America.
Me too.
Yeah, and I love nationalism, and I love just gaudy nationalism, and I love doing it big. I think that's part of sort of American culture. And like the combination of all these things is Mount Rushmore. I love Mount Rushmore. I love the idea of Mount Rushmore. I love the idea.
Can we stop down real quick?
I guess.
Do you really love Mount Rushmore?
No, that's just part
I don't
of
want
the
to be
thing.
a jerk, but we've been I've been friends with you for 10 years, and you've been friends with me for 5?
4.
4?
Yeah.
I've never heard you once talk about how much you love Mount Rushmore.
All right. Well, I just want you to know that the 4 years we were friends were the first 4 years. Okay.
Okay. You really? Okay.
Yes, I stopped. Well, I think Mount Rushmore is pretty cool. Is that fair?
That's fair.
I think Mount Rushmore is pretty cool. I like the idea of it. I like the idea that someone was like, we should do a sculpture. And it's like, you know what? Let's just do it as big as possible. Let's take the largest rock that we can find, a mountain, and make a sculpture out of it. I like that concept.
Sold.
And I did a little research on Mount Rushmore.
Nice.
Did you know that they didn't finish Mount Rushmore? You know it's not done? That like
it's supposed to be full head to toe?
Head to waist. And like George, I saw
Get out, really?
Yeah, like in the sculpture, this Dutch dude whose last name I can't pronounce, in his little like workshop, they found like what his like sketch, I guess. And George Washington's wearing this awesome like pea coat thing. It looks so much better than it does right now with just sort of like the busts.
So I just pulled up Mount Rushmore, and George Washington's wearing clothes.
I know, but it goes deeper. It goes down to like his waist. Like right now you see like one button on his jacket, but there's like 4. Did you not believe me or something? You think I'm making this
I just
up?
wanted to pull it up. I'm not totally familiar with Mount Rushmore.
Wikipedia is a very reliable source.
Well, yes,
okay?
no,
a very reliable source. So another thing I learned, like there was talk about Susan B. Anthony being added.
Wow.
So here's my idea.
Where was she going?
I don't know.
Next to Lincoln?
I don't know. Here's my idea. You ready?
Yes.
More Mount Rushmores. Like, I don't know why the Mount Rushmore industry hasn't advanced since 1941. Like, in 1941, they're just like, all right, we're done. We're good on Rushmores. And it's so cool. Like, think of all the mountains that we have that could be turned into awesome Mount Rushmore sculptures.
So what do you think is the major challenge? Why aren't people doing this? It seems expensive.
It does seem expensive, but here's my pitch about that. Is if in 1927 they started building it, and I think they had a crew of like 60 dudes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, think about what we can do now. Like, I'm sure we could just like shoot. NASA could build a laser for like a couple bill that can just like shoot satellites shooting down in a mountain that can like carve that thing out in a second. Like, I think with the advancements in technology, I think we can do it for cheaper. And there's economies of scale, and I plan on building a lot of Mount Rushmores. So, you know, if you amortize it out through all the Mount Rushmores that I'll be building, it actually comes down.
So how many Mount Rushmore? Well, okay, we got a lot of things
yes.
to
There's
discuss.
a lot of questions. What's first,
all right,
Kevin?
One, who who is on your second Mount Rushmore?
Now, this brings up an interesting debate, which is kind of the second level of the Mount Rushmore's concept, is how do you decide what faces should go on the Mount Rushmores? Now, I considered a few things. I considered doing it by category, right?
Okay.
So we could have a Mount Rushmore for musicians, a Mount Rushmore for artists, a Mount Rushmore for comedians, a Mount Rushmore for models. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Mount Rushmore for models.
This is look. I like looking at models. I think I would go visit that Mount Rushmore, wouldn't you?
Mount Rushmore for models. So, like, do you think John F. Kennedy belongs on a Mount Rushmore? Why not just keep it the president?
100%. Here's why. Because it's not that much fun. Like, I feel like Mount Rushmore is kind of nerdy. You know, like it's.
How dare you?
Yeah, yeah. Look, it's Mount Rushmore itself was a half-baked idea and a half-finished project. So I just feel like we should really just open it up to just influential people that we co-sign. And when I thought about this, I thought I figured it out, Kevin. I nailed how to do more Mount Rushmores. You ready?
Gotcha.
Every decade gets a Mount Rushmore. So there's a Mount Rushmore for the 80s, a Mount Rushmore for the 90s, and a Mount Rushmore for the 2000s. And now what naturally comes up, I know what's going through your head because we used to be friends 6 years ago. You're saying, who decides who goes on those Mount Rushmores? And another thing I know about you is you love the Hall of Fame debate.
Yes.
So basically, the Mount Rushmores become the Hall of Fame of America. That sound you just heard was me dropping the mic and walking off the stage.
The Hall of Fame, the Hall of Fame of America.
Yep, that's basically what this is. So when you say things like, should John F. Kennedy be in? I don't know. Let's have that debate. Let's figure it out.
So
what decade does John Kennedy go in? I don't know.
It's a lot of Mount Rushmore. So Mount Rushmore goes from George Washington to Abraham Lincoln. So we're dealing with like 150-something years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and you want to start banging them out every decade.
Yeah, I do. There's plenty of mountains. We have no shortage of mountains. Have you ever flown over the Rockies? Like, that's just a ton of Mount Rushmores just waiting to happen.
I did similar research as you on this topic. Okay, I have
in the last 20 seconds. Yeah.
Tourism is South Dakota's second largest industry, and Mount Rushmore is its top tourist attraction.
Mm-hmm.
The memorial hosts nearly 3 million visitors a year.
Yeah. And
it attracts many visitors for the Sturgis motorcycle rally, too, which is awesome.
That is awesome. That's a fully baked idea. Yeah, those guys are badass.
So that's the other thing your Mount Rushmore's, 80s Mount Rushmore that I disagree with, could also probably have spur off some secondary event. It just so happens that people go, there's another, a moped, a jet ski rally in your Mount Rushmore in Florida. Everybody brings their jet skis by, and they start looking at whoever's on your Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
It's not bad. I don't know I don't know where the money comes from. I don't like that it's in the 80s. But I do like the Mount Rushmore. Like, do you want to just put Michael Jordan up there? What is it for? Is it for aliens?
Well, here's another thing. Think about this, Kevin. Another little twist on this I just thought of.
Okay.
What if there's an unveiling every time there's a Mount Rushmore? Like, you don't know who's going to be on it. So we've got the biggest red blanket in the world over this mountain, and guys working underneath it. And then it's like this, it's like the Geraldo Al Capone television event of the season. That's who pays for it. So then we get a helicopter, and the huge blanket is attached to the helicopter. Helicopter raises. The new Mount Rushmore is unveiled. Everybody applauds, and then we run like 4 hours of commercials to pay for the Mount Rushmore. Come on.
It's not a bad idea.
Okay, it's half-baked. I feel like we could spend some more time on it,
It's not a bad idea. There's not a lot of places you can go. You're talking about sculptures, but it's a solid idea. Okay. I think every century is probably a little bit better than every decade. So you don't have like Gallagher on your 80s.
Do you know what we should probably do is we should probably just commission Dartmouth to do a year-long study and just see how that works out. I think
just like Russell Westbrook up there.
Yeah, Russell Westbrook
shooting jumpers
against the backboard.
All right, are you ready for my second idea? Our collective third idea.
100%.
Okay, this one is called. All right, this is called the kind. You know how you have the Grantland network?
Yeah, totally.
This is called the Kindness Network.
Okay.
Now I got off into this tangent because I got into a really I went into like a kindness black hole on the internet, and the internet gets a bad rap for being a place where people are mean and there's anonymous commenting. But there's other side.
I think they earn that rap, but move on.
No. I think it's a loud part of the internet, but the internet has a beautiful, beautiful side to it that doesn't get nearly enough attention.
I like.
And when something wonderful happens, they're like, oh yeah, it's But the internet is it's a beautiful, beautiful place. And I got caught in one of these beautiful tornadoes.
That sounds awesome.
It was wonderful.
That
it was
sounds
wonderful.
Great. You were like Dorothy.
I'm telling you, it was just fantastic. So
what did you find in this tornado?
I think I ended up clicking. I don't know what it was. I don't know where I started, but I'll tell you. I started with
Puppies were involved.
some sort of soldier coming home video.
Oh God. Uh-oh. I don't want to cry in this podcast, Kevin.
And every single one of them, like I know the story. It's like, oh, he's throwing out the first pitch. Oh, he's coming into like your Little League banquet. And then like every single one I'm clicking on, and it gets me every time, and I get so pumped.
That's not the pizza man.
No, that's
not
your
the
dad.
pizza man. That's your dad.
And he's got large pepperoni.
Yeah.
It's like double whammy of greatness.
That is awesome. I love pepperoni.
I just love those videos. So I watch one, and then on the side of YouTube, it's like, hey, another dad comes home. They're just beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I'll click that, and then YouTube will keep sending me places. So then I'll go to like the metadata will send me to like Whitney Houston. I just watched all of Whitney Houston's Star Spangled Banner. I just watched it.
Nice.
I watched the whole thing.
Nice.
I was like, this is great. I just watched like it was just beautiful.
Okay.
So then I watched Mo Cheeks when Mo Cheeks helped that little girl.
That was nice too.
It was, and so I'm like really in it now. You get like 35 minutes of me just sitting on my computer, just kind of like weepy crying, like so happy to be alive.
I love it. I love everything about this.
So then I went to Mo Cheeks helping this little girl, and then it like keyword was like girl bravery, and then I got onto a girl getting like I don't know how to pronounce it, but the ear implants, and she could hear.
Oh,
like,
I saw that one.
Voice. That one's
oh
a killer
my God.
too.
Oh my God!
And she starts crying. Everybody's so happy. So I'm like, this is obviously something. I've just spent 2 hours just being happy and crying.
Mm-hmm.
So can this be spun off into its own network called the Kindness Network?
Okay, I'm 100% on board.
Right? Who isn't? Who couldn't you go to like, hey, we're starting a TV station. It's called the Kindness Network. What happens there?
I'm out. Yeah, I'm out.
Just
I'm out.
beautiful
Sorry.
things.
Yeah, wonderful things
like,
that will make you cry, tears of joy.
Wonderful stuff that makes you feel great about the human experience.
Yeah, people helping people, making each other's lives better, being kind, spreading joy and love and peace.
Yeah, here's the logo. It's nice.
Oh.
Okay, so
well, I thought you were going to tell me what the logo looks like.
I don't know what the logo looks like.
Look,
I
it's
think
a half-baked
like
idea.
love.
It's a half-baked idea. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just light. It's like Marcellus Wallace's briefcase. It's just light.
Yeah, it just looks.
Logo doesn't exist,
It
man.
looks like
it's just
a
love.
child's laughter.
What does love look like? Yeah.
It's just a beautiful thing. It just glows.
Children laughing and unicorn farts. It's just perfect.
Okay, all right. So part of that I wanted to try out with you was a spin-off of the Kindness Network, which is a TV network.
Oh, okay. All right.
It also has something called the Compliment Podcast.
Oh, it's a multimedia project.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
of course.
Okay.
Kindness knows no bounds, my friend.
It does not.
So the Compliment Podcast, when I do these podcasts,
Okay.
the handful of people that listen to them, they say, "Oh, hey, I liked your podcast. I listened to it in the car. Everyone's always listening in the car, and that's where I listen to my podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I listen in the car. It's like you were in, the car with me chatting.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, cool. But when they tell me that, I'm like, well, that's kind of selfish because I didn't really even talk to you. If I was in your car,
That'd be kind of rude. It's like you're on the phone the whole time.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So part of the Kindness Network, I thought that we could fold this in. We'd launch a podcast called the Compliment Podcast.
Sounds like a great idea. See what I did
Here's
there?
what we do for the thank you, Jacoby.
See what I did there?
See how it just breeds happiness.
Yeah.
Great idea, Kevin.
Great
Before I'm
work.
like,
Great work,
now
Kevin.
Russell is stupid. Russell Westbrook is dumb. Now it's like, hey, Kev,
Yeah, good one, man.
that's it. Hey, I don't know if I totally agree with it, but I think I like your effort.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Compliment Podcast. Here's what we'll do for the next few minutes. We'll see how people like it.
Okay.
So, listeners, we're going to launch sort of an offshoot right now. this is Jacoby and I. You're in your car. We're going to act like we're in the back seat. And as part of the Kindness Network, we're not going to just talk about our ideas. We're just going to start the Compliment Podcast.
And welcome to the Compliment Podcast. My name's David Jacoby.
Hey, and my name's Kevin Wilds, and I'm really happy to be in this car.
It smells great in here.
And you know what? It's like not a lot of people have this car, but it's like a really good mix of just reliable and cool. And I think you made I don't know if it's, did you buy this car? Because it's a great, however you got it, it's an awesome car.
Yeah, and not a lot of people have this car, but the people that do have this car just don't have the same control over it like you do. I mean,
you're driving really well.
The speed, the lanes that you decide, like you're just in control, you're conservative but efficient.
Yeah, and it's you're just pretty much driving perfectly. And I know there's cars around you right now, but you're probably doing the best job. Like you have to make a lot of decisions when you're driving, speed and angle of the car, and you're pretty much nailing all of them.
Is that shirt tailored? Or did
it certainly looks like it.
It really does. What kind of cotton is that?
What type of cottons are there, Jacoby?
Well, there's Egyptian.
Egyptian, there you go. Egyptian. Sorry, Jacoby, that was a good joke. I was only joking around with you.
Oh, it's okay, Kevin.
Hey, this is a great part of the country. I'm happy to be in this part of the country.
Me too. It smells good in this part of the country. You made a good choice on which part of the country to live in.
It really is. I look out the window. It's just everything is so pretty. It's just this is really nice. I think this is going to be just an awesome day.
It must feel good to be you. You just did a great job at work. You're driving home efficiently, home to your beautiful family. You're probably going to have a great dinner. Things are just looking up, aren't they, buddy?
Everything's great. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you tomorrow on the Kindness Podcast.
Okay.
You went a little specific there, but that's okay. The guy might not have a family, but you know.
What happened to this whole kindness thing?
I'm sorry, we got off of it.
Yeah, you can't even you came up with this whole thing, and now you're being a Negatron.
I'm sorry.
I think, all right.
That's the goal. I know we could probably craft it out to be a little bit.
We've never done that before.
We talked probably too much about the vehicle.
yeah, not enough about the person
and the
driving.
Poor guy's enough about my car.
Like, all right, I got a nice car, big deal.
Get off my back.
I like the Kindness Network. The thing is, it's like you've done this debate technique where it's impossible to disagree with. You know what I mean? Or else I'm a jerk. Because if I'm like, I hate the Kindness Network, who wants to listen to that? Then like I'm automatically just like waving my jerk flag.
Yep. Which I wouldn't have a problem with. That's okay.
Thank you, Kevin. I've got a new idea.
Okay, go.
I went to see Step Up 4 in 3D a couple days ago, and it was a fantastic film.
Okay.
One of the great films of this year. And I was very concerned while I was in line to buy my concessions. I like to drink large Diet Cokes when I go to films and eat some popcorn, and I was really concerned about timing my urination because I didn't really have to pee going into the movie, but I knew that at some point during the movie I would have to pee, and the last thing I want, Kevin, is to miss one of those dance numbers, you know?
Sure.
So this happens to me a lot of movies. Is I really end up thinking a lot about peeing.
Breaks.
And breaks and this and that. And I was thinking, God, I wish there was just like a better way to do this. And if the first thing I thought of was like a catheter, and I think that's just a non-starter from the beginning for obvious reasons, right? And then I was like, what if? Here's the idea, Kevin. What if there in every single theater there was just a one-stall unisex bathroom, right? It's right there in the theater. You don't have to worry about leaving, coming back. You're not going to miss much. And I was like, you know what, Jacoby? This is me talking to myself. That's not a bad idea. But what if in the bathroom they were playing the movie so you don't miss a second? That's the idea. In theater toilets. What do you think?
I think there are several problems.
Really?
Of which film to put in. And how many people have to take breaks?
No, each individual theater has a toilet.
Oh, got you. But overall, I think it is a great idea.
Really? Are you still being the Compliment Podcast guy? I can't tell anymore.
A little bit of this
Okay.
is a kindness hangover from the last idea. I can't tell. I'm going to be honest with you. I just feel like I'm in a better spot spot spiritually and emotionally than I was 20 minutes ago.
I'm glad you are.
So that might color the rest of the podcast. I've become a better person. So if that's a crime,
sorry.
Guilty as charged.
Yeah, sorry. What's the problem? What's
charged with being kind.
What's the problem with that idea?
You want real talk?
Real talk. I'm ready.
I don't know why a movie theater would be incentivized to put that in.
Oh.
Because they're already making their money. I mean, I guess if you can say they could buy more concessions because they're making like half their money off the tickets and half their money off the concessions, and if this would encourage people to drink more sugary water or eat more, which I don't know if it would, or maybe they could go back and get more like, hey, I want, sometimes you don't, if you take it, that doesn't work either. Like if you take it out of the laboratory world and moved into the, hey, I'd like to get more Swedish fish, and you treat it like a football game because I don't just bring my chips over and sit on the couch. I'm like constantly bouncing back and forth because I can always listen.
Mm-hmm.
It's a solid idea.
What about this, Kevin? What if the bathroom had like a like one-way mirror or like a tinted glass so you could actually watch the screen as you use the commode?
Better. It would cut down on a lot of
wiring
infrastructure.
Issues? Okay.
Much better.
I just think I think here's like I know this is a very half-baked idea and I don't think it's going to change the world the way the Kindness podcast will, but I recognize the problem and I came up with a solution. So in that sense, I'm going to say it's a successful half-baked idea.
Well, since you're already doing this, like you start to open up. You're talking about like VIP seatings for movies.
Oh, this has been a huge.
Have people already done that?
No, yeah.
Since you're already like, hey, you go into a separate place to watch the movie.
We had a 90-minute debate about this at Grantland. There are certain people that think that movies are perfect the way they are, to them it's some sort of religion that can't be improved at all. And I think that there can be a lot of improvements at the movie theater. Like I don't understand why the food options are so limited. I have no idea. Like why can't I get a taco? Why can't I get a hamburger? Why is it just popcorn and nachos?
Hamburger? I think because they're food that is made specifically to eat in the dark.
Really? Nachos, dude?
I don't get the nachos because it can't tell where the cheese is.
But that's what I'm saying. I feel like they should open it up. I think there's a lot of ways movies can improve.
Okay.
It's half-baked, man. What do you want from me?
Okay, it's not bad. All right, so mine's on here's my final idea. Okay, so when you start to get into conversations with people, the common language a lot of times is media. It's like, hey, are you watching this movie? Did you listen to this album? Did you see this TV show, et cetera, et cetera?
Mm-hmm.
And if the answer is yes, and you enter into this great conversation, you're good money. But if the answer is no, like I don't watch it, a lot of times it's because you don't have enough time.
Uh-huh.
Right? I just don't have enough time. The other place you hear this argument, I don't have enough time, is about exercise.
Yeah.
Hey, you work out? I don't have enough time. Work stuff, work kid stuff. I don't have enough time. But there comes a point, health-wise or just decision-wise, like, you know what? I need to get my life on track. I need to start exercising. I need to make time. I got to hire a personal trainer to get my physical body up to where it should be.
Okay.
Now, parallel lane. Parallel. I got 2 lanes.
2 lanes. All right.
2 lanes. There's a Kindness podcast, and this lane is.
You're doing a great job switching between those lanes, Kevin.
Parallel lanes. There's 2 lanes. They're in the same direction, but they never cross. Never, not once.
Okay, I understand the concept.
Okay, forever. Okay, parallel lane. You got your physical world over here.
Uh-huh.
Now you got your cultural world over here.
Yeah.
That maybe there's a point where you go to a cocktail party, and everyone's talking about TV shows that you haven't seen. Hey, have you seen Downton Abbey? No.
No, I haven't.
I haven't either. I don't even watch Game of Thrones. Hey, have you seen Deadwood? I haven't seen Deadwood.
There's a guy named Swearingen on it.
And he's great. I saw the first, but I kind of bailed on it.
Yeah,
I've never seen a lot of shows.
Yeah.
You know what show I didn't see? What's it called? 6 Feet Under.
I never saw Sopranos.
That's a whole separate thing that you're now going to get emails about.
Okay, fine.
Prepare yourself. Okay, so the idea is media personal trainer.
Okay, I see what you did there. You took a personal trainer from the physical world and put him in the media world.
Put him in the media world.
Okay. So what does this person do? Like, if I had an hour session with a media personal trainer, what would happen?
Well, first of all, you got to put on your media clothes.
Okay, yeah, good point. I think that involves like a lot of plaids, thick-rimmed glasses.
That's right.
Yeah.
Jeans. Whatever media you're into. Like if you're going for yoga, you're dressing very differently than basketball.
Yoga's not media, nor is basketball.
No, I'm talking about the physical world. Like you can't go to play basketball.
Sorry, parallel lane. I forgot.
I'm back in the other lane.
Sorry,
you can't go play basketball in your little yoga outfit.
You do a great job switching lanes, Kevin.
There you go. And you can't go to yoga with your long shorts. You're going to be doing headstands.
Totally agree.
Okay, so you got to ask your trainer, hey, what should I wear? What are we going to be doing? He's like, you know what? We're going to be listening to music, man. Why don't you just bring some loose-fitting clothes?
Okay. Perhaps like a vintage rock T-shirt or something?
Yeah. We're going to be
the Dead Milkmen T-shirt, something a little hip.
Yeah, or like you're watching a show, like bring a blanket. Bring a blanket. We're going to cuddle up. We're going to watch Breaking Bad.
Sure.
Bring a hooded sweatshirt sometimes. Get into it. We're going to be watching a tearjerker. Okay. So, media personal trainer. So
what's the hooded sweatshirt have to do with tearjerker so you can hide your face?
Yeah, because it's sad.
Okay. I'll remember that.
Because I'll go to a tearjerker, I'll cry at the wrong part.
Yeah,
I'll cry at the what's the one with Rachel McAdams? I'll cry at the wrong parts.
Yeah, I cried almost all the way through the Hunger
crying?
Games. I cried the entire Hunger Games for no reason. I don't even know why.
Dude, I saw Field of Dreams last night.
Oh, it's over.
Not last night, a few weeks ago.
It's over.
But since I know the movie so well, I'm like crying when they pick up Doc. Like Kid Doc, I start crying.
Oh, no.
I'm like, you don't understand. He can't go back. It's like, that's 30 minutes from now, dude.
Oh, and now
They're just picking him up on the road.
Now you've got a son, too? Oh, it's over.
That was what the killer was. We watched it together.
Oh, no.
And I was telling him about it. It's very hard to explain to a 3-week-old. He doesn't understand English, and it also involves ghosts and time travel.
I think everybody understands Field of Dreams. Everybody does. He understands.
Can I make one sidebar Field of Dreams story now that I have a child that I never noticed? Just real quick.
If it's about your kid, I'm not 100% on board.
No. It's about Field of Dreams.
Okay, fine.
When the little girl falls off the bleachers in Field of Dreams and she's choking on the hot dog.
Yeah.
Okay. Kevin Costner, she's like turning blue, remember?
Yeah.
They wait an outrageous amount of time for the doc to come off of the field. He's walking. He's not even running.
Yeah.
He's walking. She's going to go call 911. He's like, no, don't. The ghost will solve it. He walks, and then he gets her. He's like, this child's choking to death. It's like, yeah, dude, I know, and she fell.
Yeah.
But I bet if you timed it, it would take you wouldn't do that. You would just start freaking out, and I only know that because I became a parent. Okay, back to media personal training.
I'm really glad we took that sidebar. I'm really glad.
Okay, so
you go to edit it out later. It'll be great.
So you go to their loft, okay? And they make you listen to music. What else is there right here? They make you click through all the Pitchfork links, and then they make you watch Breaking Bad or like clips of Fallon that you didn't see.
Okay.
And that's real work. And it's like, you're there for 2 hours. You're like exhausted. And you leave like, I'll see you next week. Make sure you watch those clips. Click through Pitchfork. I want you to know every band. Like, okay.
And then how do you benefit? So your cocktail party conversations, you seem more sort of like connected to pop culture.
100%. Now you lead the party.
Not bad.
Not bad. That's a great idea. You're talking about granite carvings. I'm talking about changing the world.
Granite carvings would change the world. Here's let me just get Negatron for a second on this one.
Okay.
Basically, what you're trying to do is like buy cool, and which is like, and like that sentence itself kind of like folds in on itself and self-destructs. You know what I mean? Like you cannot fake the funk. There's a reason that phrase has endured for so long. You cannot fake the funk, and basically you're hiring someone to give you the funk, and you are therefore faking it.
All right. So is that any different than subscribing to a magazine?
In a way, it's like the second level.
You're saying that it just feels a little forced.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. Like it just doesn't pass it doesn't get through the BS filter. And like, what if those people at the party find out that you have a personal trainer? And I believe like a culture personal trainer. I believe that you should never do something you don't want other people to find out about.
Okay, all right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, what if you're known as that guy? Like, what if I'm walking in the loft at the same time you're walking out, and we make eye contact, and we're like, oh no. Kevin's got a coolness personal trainer too.
But maybe it's maybe it's not okay. I'm not saying that we need to get to, Bushwick level cool.
Okay. East or West Bushwick?
I don't even know. Wherever's cooler now.
Okay.
I live in Connecticut now.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm just saying, like, people who can get personal trainers that, like, need to get in shape. I'm not asking them to play in the NBA.
I see what you're saying.
Like, I'm just trying to get down. I'm trying to lose a few pant sizes.
Okay.
Trying to go down a few notches.
Okay.
I'm not trying to do the Tour de France. At least get me started, and then they can go off in their own world.
Do they help you out with, like, do you show up the next week and like, now we're going to talk about your wardrobe? Like, what is the idea?
They can't. That's probably somebody else.
It's just a media thing, right?
That's a stylist, though. People have stylists.
So
you're going to be mad at George Clooney because he doesn't pick out his own suit?
So it's kind of like, it reminds me kind of like Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. There's like those 4 dudes who each handle they all have their own specialties.
Yeah, this guy would just be specifically about media. Did they have a media guy? They may have.
They had like a culture guy, I think.
Yeah, so this would be specific media.
Remember how big that show was? I used to watch every episode of that show.
It's a great show.
It was a fantastic show. I've always wondered how those shows go away, but that'll be another podcast for another time.
Okay.
All right. I've got another idea, Kevin.
Okay, let's go.
I love tuna sandwiches.
Okay.
I really do. And one time, I love tuna sandwiches, and one of the things I love about tuna sandwiches is I have potato chips on the same plate right next to them all the time.
Okay.
And one time, I took the potato chips and put them inside the tuna sandwich. So it went bread, potato chip, tuna, bread.
Of course, this was commonplace.
And I ate it. And
Good.
And I loved it. It was like a revelation. It was mind-blowing, Kevin.
Okay.
Mind-blowing. And I decided what I loved so much about it was the mixture of the textures of the food, not so much the taste. I loved the crunch mixed with the mush.
I've heard this theory of yours. I love it.
This half-baked idea is called the Crunch and Mush Cafe.
Continue.
Everything on the menu at the Crunch and Mush Cafe is a combination of crunch and mush. And I believe that most human beings abide by this love of crunch and mush and just don't even know it. So what this cafe is going to tap into, which is going to be a franchise chain, what it's going to tap into is it's going to reveal to people one of the reasons they love the foods they love, and they're going to associate that revelation with this franchise. Would you like to know what's on the menu at the Crunch and Mush Cafe?
Can I bandy a guess out there?
Yeah, sure, why not?
I'm going to say I'll take cookies and milk.
That's on. Milk's a big player. Cereal's on there as well.
Crunchy. Okay, good. Go ahead. Run me through the menu.
All right. We've got like a mac and cheese with that crunchy top layer.
Sold.
Like, when you go to Boston Market or whatever and you look at the mac and cheese and it just looks like goop. And
yeah, I need the crunchy top part.
Yeah, and then when you go to certain restaurants and they give you mac and cheese, it's got that crunchy layer on top. It's
Sold.
just a big difference. Tortilla soup. I love soup.
100% in.
You get tortilla chips with those chips in there?
Yes. In fact, every soup I get, I just try to get crackers. I grab oyster crackers.
Yeah, you need the crunch along with the mush.
Gotcha.
Oh, you know what else is happening here? Nachos. You didn't realize that you love nachos because of crunch and mush.
I thought I loved them because I love the movies.
No, you love them because of crunch and mush. And
So,
I'm not done. It's not just things.
Sorry.
It's not just things that you're familiar with. We're gonna take things that you're familiar with and kick them up a notch. Like, you like mashed potatoes, don't you?
Of course.
No crunch, buddy. Imagine if there was like bacon bits in the mashed potatoes.
Crunch and mush.
Crunch, meat, mush at the Crunch and Mush Cafe.
So it would be the first restaurant on the planet.
No, that's wrong. It would not be the first restaurant on the planet. There's plenty of restaurants already on the planet.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking there was no restaurants on the planet.
No. There are. We're not on a parallel lane. We're in this lane.
I'm sorry. I thought there was no restaurants. I didn't know what a restaurant was.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to say this is close, Jacoby. It's an outrageous idea, but it's not that far away.
Okay.
Okay. I was going to say it was the first restaurant on the planet.
It's not.
But it's not even
Not even close. Not even top 5.
I just Googled restaurants on the planet. I got 0 hits.
Okay, good.
So there are none. Okay.
We'll do some research after the pod to find out if there are
Just
restaurants.
let me finish this sentence. It is the first restaurant on the planet.
Okay,
that
it's not
is
the first
selling-
restaurant on the planet, Kevin. We've established that, all right?
that is selling not taste, but texture.
Texture, exactly. I'm glad you grasped this concept.
Here's the thing. It's not.
What?
Smoothies.
Wait, give me a second. I have to pick my brain up off the floor.
Well, not.
Give me a second. It's
Listen,
not.
Smoothies are like, we're not going to sell you taste. We're selling you texture. In fact, we're naming the whole thing texture. Smoothie.
I love smoothies.
It's smooth, man. Like, hey, do you like a smoothie? Yes, because it's smooth.
I do love smoothies.
It's a food name after a texture.
That's fair. But
So you already have a replicable model.
oh, I like it. See, I like how you turn that around into a positive. I thought you were poking holes. Yeah, it
No.
works. It's Crunch and Mush.
Crunch and Mush. Oh, I'm going to go to Crunch and Mush. Oh, that's good.
Because, like, they opened up that place in the village that was like the peanut butter restaurant or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's the meatball shop.
yeah,
like that
peanut butter
that's
company.
been explored. But those are just like, hey, we do peanut butter great. It's like, no, I do Crunch and Mush great. I do texture.
So is it like, what's that yogurt place that everybody likes?
The yogurt place?
Pinkberry.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So yeah, Pinkberry they provide you with the mush, as you
Yeah,
like to call
let me
it.
just say this. Has anyone gone to Pinkberry, filled their cup with just frozen yogurt, and then walked out the door?
But that's what they're doing, basically, right?
No, they're saying,
They're like, now
here's your mush.
crunch it up.
Crunch it up, exactly. It's like, crunch it up is the new punch it up. No? Didn't work? Okay. I'm into this idea.
Tumbleweeds just blew across this podcast.
Those are crickets. I'm in on Crunch and Mush Cafe.
Yes, it's also like the Dairy Queen Blizzard.
Yes, McFlurry is another way of putting that. And like apple pie, you take an egg and cheese, it's just mush. Bacon, egg and cheese, Crunch and Mush.
Crunch and Mush. It's more of it seems more of a life philosophy than it feels like more of a cooking book than an actual restaurant I can walk into. Just saying. It feels like you would be better off like writing like the smoothie diet, like the Crunch and Mush diet, and you claim there's some health benefit to it. Write the book, and it's like, oh, I'm on the Crunch and Mush.
Oh,
like,
it's
that's
good.
great.
It's good for your digestion.
Rather than going.
I can just say stuff like your digestive tract really reacts well to mush mixed with crunch.
And mush.
I don't need to back that up. No one else
Then
knows about digestive
you don't have to deal
tract.
with like real estate issues, and just write the book. Write the book. Start a diet. Crunch and Mush. Keep it moving.
Good idea. If there's any very influential publishers listening to this, I'm on board.
Have Bill's guy, whoever did the book of basketball.
The Book of Crunch and Mush. I think I'll have to
Yeah,
punch
that's
up
it.
the
It could be
title a
900
little bit.
pages.
Do you think after that one is a bestseller, which it clearly will be, do you think I can open the Crunch and Mush Cafe after that?
I just don't
I've
think
always
that you
wanted
wanna
to own
get
a cafe.
I know, but I don't
Put an apron on and greet people as they come in. Like, hey, how many? Good afternoon. How are you?
How many? I'm going to walk into the restaurant. I got a guy with an apron on.
How many people? That's what they asked you. How many people are coming here? We're casual, dude.
somebody
It's
with an
casual
apron
dining.
on.
It's casual dining. It's like a mom and pop shop. There's only 3 people that work there. You know what I mean? This isn't some like stuffy corporate thing. I'm not a fancy executive like you are, Kevin. I'm just a salt of the earth guy that's trying to give you
how
some
many?
cereal.
Like what? Are you the greeter or the cook?
Both,
Your
man.
apron's got Crunch and Mush all over it.
We don't. There is no roles at Crunch and Mush Cafe.
I'm sorry, I got it back on the Kindness Cafe.
Yeah. There's no
Oh,
roles.
the Kindness Cafe!
Boom! Oh, how did that not happen?
It's all organic and like pleasant.
How has that not happened?
Kindness Cafe. All right.
I love the
Are we
Kindness
done?
Cafe.
Is that competition over?
I believe that competition's over. Can I just briefly just like list off some of my other ideas? Because I don't have a half-baked podcast. You know what I mean? And
Okay.
So I just
How
wanted
about
to throw some out there.
All right. You want me to? I will. I'm going to grade these to sort of have them.
You briefly evaluate each one.
Can you want me to give them a gold medal or like a
I'd say thumbs.
dunk contest type rating?
I like it's like a Siskel and Ebert type of thing.
Okay.
Thumbs. You can go thumbs way up or way down too.
Gotcha.
All right.
Just fly through them.
I will. Cheese slices the shape of hamburger buns and hot dog buns, not just squares.
Thumbs up.
Okay. Companion chips. Most potato chips are flavored like salt and vinegar, barbecue, whatever. I'm gonna make chips flavored to perfectly be a companion for whatever sandwich you're eating. So I've got roast beef potato chips, I've got ham potato chips, I've got spicy Italian potato chips. What do you say?
Too hard to stock. Thumbs down.
Fair. This one's pretty simple. It's called sweatshirt bathrobes. It's bathrobes made of sweatshirt material.
Obviously, yes.
I don't think bathrobes should be made of towel material. I think they should be made of sweatshirt material.
100%.
One more thing. An airline just for children and people with children. Like it's kids airline. Like the stewardess is and what's the politically correct term for these people? The airline help folks that bring you drinks. They're dressed like clowns and stuff, and there's balloon animals. It's like the best parts of Disneyland mixed with air travel.
Why is this a fast idea?
I don't know.
That's a home run idea.
It is, right? Because there's nothing people hate flying with their kids.
People don't like having kids on them. Even the parents are stressed out. Everybody's stressed across the board.
Guess what? Let's make it a party on that plane. And if you want,
that's great.
Not bad, right?
I think it's a great idea.
Here's one of the things when me and
romper room in there. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Here's the thing: when me and my billionaire friends get together, there's a joke that we tell. It's like, yeah, if all you have to do if you're a billionaire and you want to become a millionaire, just open up an airline. I think they actually worded it better than that.
Where'd you get that from?
It's out there. I mean, look, you're not hanging with the circles I'm hanging with. I moved to Los Angeles.
I thought that was going to be a joke, but it just sounded like a real statement.
Yeah, that was me and Warren Buffett and Jay-Z were hanging out in Idaho on a ranch one day, just smoking $100 bills. And
that's a solid idea.
Airline for kids.
That's the best idea of this whole thing.
All right. Well, I'm just going to end there.
I don't know where you've been hiding that with.
I'm just going to end there. So now this is the part of the podcast where we call our friend David Chamberlain. And just a little bit of brief history with our relationship with David Chamberlain is we often have arguments, and then we will call him on the telephone, and he will sort of end them for us. So we figured we'd extend that to this podcast. Does that seem like a good idea, Kevin?
That sounds great. Give him a shout.
Let's give him a shout.
Hello.
Hey, Chamberlain. This is David Jacoby with your friend Kevin Wilds.
How you guys doing?
Pretty good. We're doing a podcast about half-baked ideas, which we've sent to you, and you have evaluated, and I believe you're going to give us an Olympic-themed medal ceremony of the ideas.
I am. I'm very excited.
Do you have any questions for us first?
Quick question about T-shirt artillery.
Well, we didn't do that one, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
That one's out.
That one was out, but it's a great idea.
Don't do it. Just save it.
Okay, fine.
Okay, then one other question. One question about media personal trainer.
Oh, sure, I can field that.
Please do.
Okay, what's the question?
Well, I need a little bit more information than media personal trainer.
So it's you've ever been to a personal trainer, Chambo?
No.
Okay, got it. So you would go to a personal trainer if you ever felt like the need to get in shape. Now, you were very dialed into the media, specifically a lot of bands that I've never heard of.
Got it.
But
totally got it.
Okay, now you got it.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a good idea when you don't have to explain it.
You basically serve as my media personal trainer when it comes to bands with guitars.
Right.
Okay.
All right. So you feel like you've wrapped your head around these ideas. You're as the Olympic judge of half-baked ideas. What are the results?
I have, and there were a lot of good ideas. I wish every idea could get a medal, but that's not how this works.
Okay.
First, I think we should start with the bronze medal.
Sure. Good place to start.
That goes to the Crunch and Mush Cafe.
Ooh, nice.
Which obviously I'm a huge fan of, and it probably would be higher on the list if it were more impactful. But if you know what you're doing making sandwiches, you can do this on your own.
Ooh.
But I like the idea of sharing it with the masses. I know, Jacoby, that you've always been excited about.
The Crunch and Mush Cafe is reacting that awkward way Olympians react, where they're happy they got a medal, but they're kind of bummed out that they didn't get the gold.
Fair enough. I do love the Crunch and Mush Cafe. The silver medal is going to go to the Kindness Network.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes.
Great choice, Chamberlain.
That's great. That's great to hear. We're happy to have it.
I know you're a little bummed that you didn't get the gold Kindness Network, but
not at all.
The Kindness Network is not bummed.
It's a good idea. I used to watch a program on the Discovery Channel called Sunrise Earth, which I think could somehow work into this kindness network.
Have you ever
where it's
watched
just
Sunrise with Kevin?
and polar bears waking up.
That sounds fantastic.
Have you ever
We'll look
seen
into
this? It's the best.
Yes, I've watched it with Chamberlain
It's
before.
the best.
Like butterflies landing on lily pads.
It's the best.
It's so good. And people coming home from war, people coming back from the airport.
Yeah.
People coming back from anywhere.
Yeah, it's really good. Gold medal, bit of a surprise.
Whoa.
Media personal trainer.
Boom!
Frankly, I didn't even understand the idea before I got on the phone, but I loved it so much with the small explanation. That thing is a gold mine.
Thank you, Chambo.
Love that. Of course.
I was watching gymnastics the other day, and the Japanese, after the judges, in gymnastics, made the Japanese in the fourth place, the Japanese coach went over to the judges, gave them $500 and a piece of paper, and then they got the silver medal.
That's not what happened.
That is what more Mount Rushmore is doing right now.
They explained it. That's not what really happened.
More Mount Rushmore. Well, the $500 was a processing fee for the appeal. Whatever. I didn't think that was necessary.
The fact that you saw cash on the floor.
And it was American cash. Like leave this out of us. Leave it. Anyway, more Mount Rushmores is filing an appeal.
More Mount Rushmores. Obviously, Mount Rushmore is amazing if you go there, but it didn't seem like a viable idea. You know that Crazy Horse thing that they're building right by Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, I do.
They've been building that thing for like 90 years.
I read about that.
It takes a ton. I just felt like it takes too much money and a lot of dynamite to make more Mount Rushmore.
And we don't have enough dynamite.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
What are you talking about? Not anymore. Not anymore.
When's the last time you saw a stick of dynamite?
I know you're so passionate about explosives, Chamberlain. God.
When my granddad was growing up, dynamite.
It was everywhere.
All over the yard.
All over the yard. All right, Jacoby, are we letting go? Are we ending the podcast here?
We're ending the podcast right here. I'm very disappointed that more Mount Rushmores didn't medal, but Crunch and Mush Cafe is very happy.
I'm going to go get right now a sandwich with something crunchy and something mushy on it.
The Kindness Network thinks that's a great idea.
Thank you all for listening, and thank you guys for joining us. The Grantland Network is going to take over the BS Report all of next week, so don't unsubscribe because we've got some good stuff planned for you. Chuck Klosterman's going to be involved, potentially. Jalen Rose will be on it, and the usual Grantland Network shows.
So I get to sign off. Whoa!
Thank you for downloading the BS Report with Bill Simmons.
Too much fun.
Check out more podcasts at the iTunes Music Store or at Pod Center at ESPNRadio.com.
Peace out.
All right, fans, by now you should know that millions of fans use StubHub and the StubHub app to find the seats they want to games, concerts, and more. But one thing you may not know is that you can also go on StubHub to set a price alert. That means you choose where you want to sit and the price you want to pay. Then if another fan lists tickets for sale within your price range, StubHub will email to let you know. Pretty great, huh? So head to StubHub today to get your tickets or the app to set a price alert. You can't go wrong.
StubHub!